Cindy Curtis here with Wednesday Words. Today's topic is rest and restoration. And I'd like you to think for a moment about what's the difference between the two. We want to aim for restoration, not just rest. And to me, or for me, I should say, that involves a total body experience. I need to be restored in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, and in my body to really feel it. And I believe that that is what God had in mind when He told us to keep the Sabbath holy. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is what are some things that you do on the Sabbath that are restorative, not just restful and not just a day off. And for those of us who sometimes have to work on Sundays or perhaps even work every Sunday, you can pick another day of the week to honor as your Sabbath as you possibly can, because it's so important that we have that. And one of the ways that we can restore is by going to church. If you have gotten out of the routine, and for me, it is a routine, maybe you need to reestablish that. Maybe that's something that you're missing, even though you're resting on Sundays, but you're not attending church. What you get when you connect with a church can't be equaled with any other connection that you have. Your church family is important, just as important as your core family. These are the people that you do life with in ministry. It's important to meet together. It's a recharging that you'll get nowhere else. So if you've stopped going to church, if you found a substitute for church, I would like to challenge you for the month of May to get back in there and try again and see if that is what has been just sort of nagging around the edges for you, that I need restoration that is total and complete. When you go to church, please think about it as what can you give back to God, not so much what can I get out of church. You're really going with a mindset to worship, to let go of what's going on in the world or even in your life, and for that hour to open your soul, open your heart, open your mind to worshiping God. You might hear something beautiful from the pastor's message, but you might also hear something beautiful in the silence when there's a prayer, or a person speaks to you in a way, gives you a hug, shakes your hand, says good morning to you, that is just what you needed. You may hear it in scripture. You may hear it in your heart of hearts. All of those things are needed for you to get that restoration that you need and that connection that you need. So don't think about it as a chore or something you're going to have to give back, but what are you going to connect to when you're there? And listen to what is going on in that church. Do they have ministries that interest you? Do they have things for your family? Maybe it's time for your whole family to go back to church. That's a different challenge for you. If you are influential over your family, you can ask them to join you in the month of May to come to church, but it really has to be their decisions too. And maybe share with them, if they don't come, things that you saw that might interest them, and ask them if they'd be willing to do this challenge with you for a month. On Sundays, it's super important that you spend time with your family. Do some things together that you don't have time to do during the week. And I'm going to tell you, go outside and do something outside. Don't add more things to your task list. If at all possible, don't even grocery shop on Sunday. Do something simple for a meal. You don't even really have to go out to eat, because sometimes I think we forget about the people who have to work and serve us that food. Maybe just make a simple sandwich meal that everyone can fend for themselves for on Sunday, and see if that makes a difference for your rest and restoration. God bless my mom. She would cook Sunday dinner for our whole family. For years she did that. And now I don't really know how she did it. And it was great family time, but it was a lot on her. And I never really considered that we may have been taking her restoration time away from her. And one thing that I absolutely love to do on Sundays that I would encourage you to take a nap. Let go of everything and just rest. Even if you don't actually go to sleep, put your feet up, maybe even up on a pillow, and just lie there and be still. And if you can do that for 30 minutes, it's enough. If you need an hour, take an hour. And encourage the rest of your family to have that restful time too. I'm telling you, it will make a difference, and I want to encourage you to try this. So don't just rest, be restored. And I'll talk to you next week.